Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for the cartoon fight of the century. In this corner, from the land of Ooh, the hero who gets all the princesses, Finn the Human. And in this corner, hailing from Beach City, a kid whose heart is as big as a giant woman, Steven Quartz Universe. This is going to be a hell of a fight, ladies and gentlemen, and no matter who wins, the other guy's fan base is probably going to tear me limb from limb. This should probably go without saying, but spoiler alert! Now, these two characters actually have quite a lot in common. I mean, both are young boys who have lost their mothers and whose fathers are, somewhat questionable quality. They're both also pretty unique specimens. Steven is the world's only half-human, half-gem, and Finn is the last human in the land of Ooh. Probably. Maybe.
What?
They've both also been adopted by surrogate families, and both have pretty impressive singing voices. Finally, both characters have been written and developed, at least in part, by the incredibly talented Rebecca Sugar, who, if you're watching this, oh my god, I'm like your biggest fan ever. Like, oh, just the way you write characters and the music, it's awesome. Anyway, let's go ahead and see who today's special guest is. It looks like we booked... crap, not you. I'm Batman. You sure are. So, okay, well, what do you think, Batman?
Gee, I don't know, Paul. I could make an assessment with my finely honed detective skills, but apparently they're overrated.
Oh, come on. Don't tell me the big bad vigilante is all bat hurt. Get it? I said bat hurt instead of butt hurt because he's Batman. Ow! Oh, God, that hurts! Shit! I think I'm bleeding. Okay, no blood, but ow!
Oh, I'm sorry. There was a fly on your face. I'm such a klutz. My fighting skills are totally overrated, too.
Anyway, I think Steven totally has this one.
The treasure troll with a Jufro? Finn's gonna kick his pudgy ass so hard he'll be burping farts for a week.
Well, don't just take my word for it. Let's get the opinion of our professional fightologist, Layla Powers. Okay, Layla, who do you think will win?
Steven Universe! He already knows how to summon his shield and his bubble.
Layla Powers? Is she related to you?
What? How could you possibly know that? Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at our combatants. Steven has a lot going on. He can summon a shield he can use to deflect attacks, or he can throw it for an offensive option, kind of like Captain America.
I beat him, you know.
And he can also summon a massive force bubble for even greater defensive power. Steven's been shown to guard against extremely powerful attacks with these, including a point-blank blast from a massive alien warship.
He used to be able to heal people with his spit.
Yeah, kind of weird.
That's unusual!
But apparently, he can't do that anymore, because he got his feelings hurt. Boo-hoo.
As a crystal gem, he can also bubble objects and use warp pads.
Neither of which are combat-useful abilities.
And he can fuse, at least with Connie.
But this is a one-on-one match.
He also has some degree of shape-shifting ability.
His one attempt at using it was a catastrophe.
Did you seriously just...
Seriously, he sucked.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing. Steven's still adjusting and learning to use his powers. Like the one time he managed to animate plant life was also pretty disastrous. While he's come a long way so far, the only powers he really wields reliably and without unwanted consequences are his shield and force bubble.
Unlike his girlfriend, Steven doesn't seem to have any special aptitude for combat. That's where Finn has the advantage.
Finn's fighting style is somewhat undisciplined, but there's no denying how effective it is.
He routinely takes on enemies with superpowers, like Ice King, several witches, the Fight King, Zergiok the Goblin King, and the Lich.
Lich King?
Not usually. Finn's greatest asset is his relentlessness, and his physical abilities are surprisingly honed for a boy his age, making him capable of some truly spectacular physical feats.
Yeah, I guess. But what are his actual powers?
Well, he had mystic wizard powers at one point.
Yeah, but that was just for one episode.
And, a psychic arm?
That's also gone now.
Well, he, has gorgeous hair.
That is impressive, but not an actual power. He doesn't actually have powers, does he?
I don't really have any powers.
He doesn't need powers. His expert fighting abilities and incredible tenacity are enough to take on even the strongest enemies. Also, he usually has some kind of special sword like Joshua's Demon Blood Sword or the magical Grass Blade.
Which cost him his arm.
He got better. And most recently, the Finn Blade, which doubles his already impressive physical abilities.
So, you favor the orphan with no powers and some fancy equipment over the superpowered alien kid. What a surprise.
I've managed to take out superpowered aliens with gadgets and clever planning. Or have you forgotten?
Yeah, but you're still outmatched by an overweight black lady in an ill-fitting suit.
Oh god,
My nose! I think it's broken. Okay, no. But shit, man, what the hell?
Finn's a fighter. Steven's just a big softy with a couple of flashy magic tricks. When has Steven actually won a fight?
Well, he's hardly been in any real fights. I mean, there was Lapis Lazuli.
He talked his way out of that. He barely managed to survive an encounter with Pearl's hologram. That kid's a marshmallow. Steven's gonna get his ass kicked worse than that bitch who talked shit about Ronda Rousey's dad.
We'll see about that. I think it's about time we enter the fighter's data into the Fightron 5000.
That's just a cardboard box with Sharpie on it.
Wow, you really are the world's greatest detective.
I've got this. And the winner is...
Steven Universe.
Holy unresolved daddy issues, Batman!
Now, both characters have displayed a number of crazy-ass powers over the course of their series.
And finally, every other power I didn't mention by name.
But most of them were only temporary or completely unreliable.
Ultimately, the only real factors in this fight are Finn's aptitude for combat, his magical sword, and Steven's defensive shield and bubble powers.
And Steven does have at least a little bit of combat training thanks to Pearl. But mostly, Steven's advantage is his incredible defensive abilities.
Ultimately, Finn doesn't have anything that can penetrate them. Eventually, he's going to wear himself out because he doesn't know when to quit. And Steven's going to find an opening.
So there you have it, folks. Looks like Batman bet on the wrong horse. I guess you didn't have enough prep time for this one, huh? Oh, God. God damn it. So bad.
Good night, Internet.
What's wrong with you? Why would you do that? It's just so violent. I never did anything to you. You're such a jerk.